The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And downright chilly this morning, right?
Very cold, a little frosty. I had some frost in my windshield early today, and some of you might have some frost on your windshields this morning, so budget a little bit extra time heading outside. But yes, it's cold, no joke about that. We're in the 30s here in the Mohawk Valley, 35 in Rome, 34 heading south into the southern valleys in Hamilton, 34 Johnstown, 27 crisp degrees in Watertown. Notice, of course, the shores of Lake Ontario, a little warmer. They got a lake breeze. Basically, the waters there are warmer, so it's providing some of those areas with slightly warmer conditions. Here locally, though, we don't have a big lake just north of us, so we got that cold temperature taking place right now. Downtown Utica, it is a dry, quiet start to your day today. This afternoon, warming up into the mid-50s. So we have plenty of sunshine, feeling very fall-like, but in the wake of a cold front that moved through yesterday, we are tracking some very blustery winds this afternoon. So it's sunny, but cool and windy today. We'll have a look at those wind speeds coming up in a few minutes. We are looking dry, though, heading into the weekend. It is trending more on the dry side for any weekend plans. And we also have a next system we're tracking bringing rainfall. We'll talk about the arrival of that coming up in a couple of minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Jury deliberations continue.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Today we begin chilly, in fact frosty in parts of our area. Take a live look outside in downtown Utica. A sunny start to the day today for the first time in pretty much all week long. It's been a cloudy start pretty much every weekday here. Current conditions sitting at 35 crisp degrees here in at Griffiths and Rome. The winds are a little westerly at 3 miles an hour right now. We're going to talk about how high they get throughout the day. Potentially 15, 20-mile-per-hour winds sustained this afternoon. Gusts potentially even higher. Now, still, though, with how cool and blustery it is today, those pumpkin spice levels at an all-time high. So when you head out to get your coffee this morning, maybe request an extra large for pumpkin spice. Either way, it's great coffee weather with temperatures in the 40s and 50s for much of the day today. But still, these wind speeds, sustained winds between 15 and 20 miles per hour. It is definitely a day today where maybe some high-profile vehicles might be influenced by some of these winds. Again, they're coming from the north and northwest. So plan accordingly if you are driving a high-profile vehicle today. Now, with these strong winds, it got me thinking about the Great Lakes water temperature. And here's a look at where they stand right now. A lot of these lakes here, especially Huron and Ontario, the ones that affect us the most here in the Mohawk Valley, they're sitting around 60, 65 degrees at this point. So we are still at a very warm pattern in terms of the lakes. And, of course, as we head into the early part of the winter time, these play a huge role in how our forecasts shape up. So stay tuned for potential lake effect in the future. But that future is not right now. No lake effect expected in the short term. High pressure moving in. We got sunshine and clear skies for the overnights and for the daytime hours. As we head into the weekend, there's an area of low pressure to our west. That rainfall, for the most part, begins to fall apart. Could be a stray sprinkle heading into Friday evening, but then we will see some partial clearing as we approach Saturday. So, piecing it together here in our Skycast, a frosty start today, a cold and windy day this afternoon. Then tonight, we're down into the 30s again, a frosty overnight. Overnight lows in the 30s and 20s. Then we warm back up again into the upper 50s tomorrow. Plenty of sun. A few clouds arrive in the evening. Maybe a few isolated sprinkles heading into early Saturday. But then as we head into Saturday afternoon, it's looking still mostly dry. Rain chances begin to arrive as we head into late Sunday. So that's the latest trends of that rainfall so far. And that's going to be a pretty notable low pressure system. So for the most part, this is not expected to fall apart Sunday into Monday. Plenty of widespread rain across the area expected from that system. But for the short term, Gary, Yes, it's breezy and cool today, but you got lots of sunshine, so it's feeling very fall-like. Beautiful fall weather today, I should say.
Accentuate the positive, right?
Yes.
Eric, thanks. We now know who. Good morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. If you're getting the kids ready to head out the door for the bus stop, you better dress them up warm. Eric, you were mentioning temps are in the 30s.
Yeah, 30, 35, still in the 30s for the most part here this morning. So, yeah, definitely bundle up those kids heading out to the school bus. It's going to be very cold to start your day. In fact, look at some other local temperatures here this morning. It's 29 heading up into the Adirondacks near Saranac Lake, 34 heading closer to Albany and Johnstown, and 34 in Hamilton heading south. Still, though, it is a very cold and frosty start to your day today. Downtown Utica, it is a quiet, dry morning with mainly clear skies, too. First time pretty much all work week long we've started out with mainly clear skies. And over the next 12 hours, we'll see temperatures go from the 30s up into the mid-50s this afternoon. It's not warming up too much. And besides that, we're also tracking some pretty strong winds as we progress throughout the afternoon and into the evening. We are dry, though, heading into the weekend, so it is trending more on the dry side. And following that, our next system we are tracking comes in the form of rain. So not the four-letter word that rhymes with no. Nothing coming in that term just yet. But still, we'll have a look at those rain chances and, of course, the latest on the wind speeds for this afternoon coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Trump administration is now saying...
News Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli. This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Thursday morning. Our photo of the day today is an amazing photo sent in by a viewer in Edmiston. Susan, shout out to Edmiston this morning, and personally I do know who submitted this photo here. An amazing shot of the sunset right here over Summit Lake, and there's always some amazing views of this location as well. So again, a big thank you for this submission. If you have a photo like this you'd like to share, like what Susan shared here this morning, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. Now today, it is a frosty, cold start to the morning. Temperatures beginning in the 30s. But as we look into the end of the week, we can see those temperatures climbing a little bit into the 60s by Saturday and Sunday. And then, of course, by next week, see a lot more rain chances. But that first rain chance, at least to the icon, pops up on Sunday. We'll talk about the arrival time of that rainfall heading into that weekend and your weekend forecast coming up in a couple of minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. While lawmakers debate in...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now 5:49 on this Thursday morning. We begin with clear skies and a frosty start to your day today. Downtown Utica, a live view outside. It is a crisp morning out there. Temperatures beginning in the mid-30s, 35 officially at Griffiths and Rome, with a light westerly wind. But we're going to expect that wind speed to pick up throughout the day today. But still, with the cooler temperatures expected this afternoon, peaking in the mid-50s, it is a prime pumpkin spice day today. Of course, I may or may not have that pumpkin spice flavor in my coffee right now, but more or less, grab that extra large coffee today. Either way, if you're not a fan of pumpkin spice, with the cooler and windier conditions expected this afternoon. How windy? Well, we're thinking 15 to 20 mile per hour winds this afternoon. That's just not including wind gusts. That's sustained wind. So just a heads up today, things are looking a little gusty. And a heads up for those of you who drive high profile vehicles, just you might have to take it easy in some of these roads, especially if you're heading in directions opposite north or northwest, due to, again, how strong those winds are. And with the strong winds, it got me thinking about the Great Lakes water temperature. And so far, we are sitting right around 65, maybe close to 68 degrees in the Lake Huron, Lake Ontario. The ones that affect us in terms of lake effect the most here in the Mohawk Valley. Lake Erie already around 70 or near 70 degrees. Same thing with the southern tip of Michigan, Lake Michigan. So we are on the warm side. There's no lake effect expected in the near term, but that's just a sign of what's to come if we have those warm lake waters and eventually we get that cold air blast in maybe potentially November or December. That's when we could see that lake effect begin to arrive. Bigger picture, though, shows plenty of high pressure, north wind, lots of sunshine, potential for a few sprinkles heading into Friday evening and early Saturday morning. But that system begins to fall apart as a much larger system out west begins to take shape. This is when our next round of notable rainfall begins to arrive. But that's not until the end of the weekend. So today, sunshine, windy conditions, temperatures in the 50s, wind chills likely in the upper 40s, low 50s. Then by tonight, we're in the 30s, a frosty start to your Friday. Lots of sun Friday afternoon, highs in the mid to upper 50s. And then as we head to Saturday, we'll see clouds increase, mostly cloudy skies. A dry start on Sunday, but then by Sunday night into Monday, that's when our next round of notable rainfall begins to arrive. So if you're wondering about this weekend's forecast, well, it's shaping up mostly dry. In fact, pretty similar to what we saw last weekend with some clouds mixing in here and there and maybe an isolated sprinkle. But so far, today and tomorrow, it's sunny. It's very fall-like, Gary. Bring out that flannel. Enjoy the fall weather.
Yeah, that's for sure. I love all that sunshine today. Well, for years, residents...
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Thursday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And get ready to bundle up those kids this morning. It is chilly.
Yes, very chilly this morning. Frosty start. We're in the 30s, Gary.
Wow.
It's this time of year again. In fact, look at the conditions outside right now. Those 30-degree-ish temperatures are accompanied by mainly clear skies across the Mohawk Valley. It's a little different story to start your day compared to earlier this week where we started with clouds, maybe even some rain. So no rain is expected today. In fact, we got completely dry weather expected. Live look at downtown Utica. It is again, clear, quiet morning out there. Today, we track sunshine and temperatures climbing into the low to mid 50s. Now, yes, we're in the mid 50s with sunshine today, but the main story is going to be those strong winds arriving this afternoon. We'll detail the timing and the strength of them coming up in a couple of minutes. We are looking dry, mostly dry, heading into the weekend. And then following that, our next system brings rainfall, and that's going to be arriving later on this weekend. We'll time that out, again, have the latest on those winds and the frost potential over the next few days coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Jury deliberations continue.
Welcome back. Time now 6:11 or 6:10, going on 6:11 on this Thursday morning. We begin with a live look at road conditions out there today, and it's a dry start, but a frosty start. So when it comes to conditions outside this morning, you might want to budget a little bit extra time to scrape some frost off the windshield or heat up the car, depending on your preference of getting rid of frost on your windshield. Visibility is mostly clear here across the region. There are some isolated pockets of fog, but keyword isolated. There's a very few areas that are seeing it this morning. Otherwise, mostly clear skies, dry on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. So far in our traffic tracker, in fact, looks like something just popped up here on our map. In fact, I will take a look at this right now and see what's going on here. This looks to be in the Utica area. In fact, actually, yeah, even closer to New Hartford here. Look right along the Memorial Parkway, potentially. This looks to be crash on Holland Ave at Memorial Parkway. So again, this is location right here. It looks to be on the west or eastbound direction here. Just a heads up for any of you heading in that area. Either way, though, this morning, when it comes to conditions, the frosty, dry start. It's a sunny afternoon, but temperatures will be in the 50s. Winds will be blustery. We'll talk all about those conditions as well as what we expect heading to the weekend coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Some sad news locally.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now 6:17, and we begin with a frosty, cold start to your day today. Live look at downtown Utica. We can see the morning twilight, beautiful cloud cover there out in the distance this morning. Temperatures to start your day, 33 degrees with calm winds at Griffiths and Rome. So that allows those temperatures to fall even quicker, and of course frost to form with those chilly temperatures so far early today. So today's highs are expected to climb into the mid-50s. So when it comes to coffee levels, get an extra large. Even add some pumpkin spice like my coffee is this morning. Either way, we're going to expect a cool, blustery afternoon. Those wind speeds definitely noticeable today. We're talking 15, 20-mile-per-hour winds. This is enough wind speed to, at least with wind gusts approaching even close to 25, 30 miles per hour, to potentially impact those of you who drive high-profile vehicles, semis, even loading trucks, buses. Just a heads up that you might be encountering some of those stronger wind gusts throughout the day today. We haven't really seen any true windy days in quite a while, so we're going to get into that season. We have active storm paths being a buzzword for basically just seeing a lot more active systems. But with all this wind speed arriving, it got me on the topic thinking about the Great Lakes water temperature. As we enter the later half of the month, closer to November, obviously it's going to slowly cool down even more to the point where the difference in temperature between the Great Lakes and the air will be enough to produce lake effect. Now, there's no near-term lake effect forecasted, at least for now, but just a heads up, we just still have waters right around 65, 66 degrees in parts of Lake Huron in Ontario, which are the lakes that affect us the most here in the Mohawk Valley. But stay tuned, as we're going to be closely watching any potential patterns in the future that could produce lake effect. Bigger picture shows high pressure in place here today and for the next few days. Lots of sunshine. Rain showers potentially arriving Friday night. They do look to fall apart, though. I'm thinking maybe a light sprinkle heading into the Mohawk Valley. But then we dry out Saturday. Our next notable rain chance is right here. This will arrive in the second half of the weekend. But quickly for today, it's a frosty start. It's a blustery and sunny afternoon tonight. With clear skies, lows will fall into the 30s and 20s. Frosty start. It's a sunny day tomorrow. Clouds roll in a little bit Friday evening. Saturday looks mostly cloudy, but mostly dry. Again, they can't rule out a stray sprinkle during the overnight hours right there. But our better shot for rainfall arrives late Sunday into Monday. And next week's looking a little more unsettled. We have more of an active pattern moving in, something we haven't seen in several months. So we'll see how this shapes up. Obviously, there's more dry days expected beyond this, but as we enter November and at least late October, early November, we're going to start to see those cooler days, Gary. So chilly overnights like we're seeing today, so it's definitely very fall-like out there this afternoon.
Tonight in the 20s.
Very brisk.
Yes. Eric, thanks. We now know. Thank you for joining us for this half hour. If you're getting ready to head the kids off to school this morning, you better get ready to dress them up warm. Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, these temperatures sitting in the 30s.
Yeah, definitely bundle up those kids. It is a frosty, cold morning out there today. Let's take a look at those temperatures across the region. We're at 33 officially in Rome, a degree just above freezing here. It is below freezing in Watertown and Saranac Lake, 34 in Johnstown, Hamilton, 35 Binghamton, and 39 near 40 in Albany. By the way, the warm pockets of New York State right behind me with Rochester and in Buffalo. That's due to that lake breeze. Lake Ontario, the warm waters keeping areas near the shores a little warm. So that's another impact of those giant lakes here locally. Live look at downtown Utica. It is a quiet, frosty morning out there today. Temperatures starting out in the 30s, climbing into the mid to low 50s this afternoon with plenty of sunshine, but it's going to be a blustery day today. We'll talk about those wind speeds coming up shortly, how strong they're going to get this afternoon. Following that, we have a look at a pretty dry stretch heading into the weekend And then our next chance of, or at least the next impactful weather system is going to be in the form of rainfall. We'll track that rain heading into the end of the weekend. The timing of it, all that and more coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Trump administration.
Omni, cutting-edge surgery without the cutting.
Welcome back to Sunrise, everybody, on this Thursday morning. Our photo of the day today takes us to Edmiston and a view of some very vibrant colors or colorful clouds over Summit Lake. This was submitted to us by Susan Carpenter. Shout out to those of you near the Summit Lake area or in the Edmiston area. And a big thank you for this submission right here. Look at that scene of a very narrow cloud band and the sunset, of course, producing those very unique colors on the underside of those cloud layers there. So if you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics. So today it is a frosty cold start, no doubt about it. This afternoon we peak into the mid-50s. There's plenty of sun, a little warmer tomorrow. The weekend is shaping up on the warmer side. We're in the mid-60s Saturday, upper 60s on Sunday. Notice rain chances right here as we head into next week. And there's even a rain chance, or at least a rain icon, on Sunday. We are going to time out the arrival of rainfall this weekend, as well as have the latest conditions regarding frost potential later on this week coming up in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. While lawmakers debate in Washington.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now going on 6:49, and we begin this morning with a live view of downtown Utica, where we begin with a frosty, clear start to the day. First time pretty much all week long we saw this much sunshine, or at least clear skies to start your day. Temperature sitting at 35 chilly degrees. Calm winds, refreshing humidity. Of course, this is more of a common sight here. As we progress toward the cooler months, we're going to see, we're going to change this icon here to show mainly wind chill as we progress into, again, late fall, early winter time. Still, though, today's highs are expected to climb into the mid-50s. It is a definitely a morning when I grab that extra large coffee. It is downright chilly out there this morning, and it's not warming up too much today. Not only with those temperatures, but that wind speed this afternoon. A blustery day today. We're talking winds between 15, 20 miles per hour, wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour in some locations. This is especially important, of course, not just for keeping yourself warm, but for those of you in jobs where you have to drive high-profile vehicles that could be tipping a lot easier with some stronger wind gusts. Just a heads up, as these winds will be coming from the north and northwest, and they really begin to pick up between noontime and 5 p.m. With the strong winds, it got me thinking about the Great Lakes water temperatures, especially as we get to slowly approach the lake effect season. We're not going to see a lake effect in the short term, but just a preview of these lake temperatures here. Lake Ontario and Huron, the ones that affect us the most here in the Mohawk Valley. We see those conditions, at least the temperatures, in the low to mid-60s right now. So, with a difference, we see those conditions falling into the 30s, even mid-40s for daytime highs. And that's when we will start to see that lake effect machine really begin to kick in. Still, though, here locally, we have high pressure in place here today. A cold front moves through. There's a chance for a few sprinkles heading into Friday. But for now, it is dry, it's sunny, it's breezy. Tonight, it's frosty and cold. Overnight lows in the 30s and 20s. Tomorrow, we begin in the 30s, climbing into the 50s again in the afternoon. Here comes that cloud cover. Again, could see a few sprinkles move in from the west. Then that chance begins to fall apart a little bit. Returns again Saturday afternoon here. You can see right there a brief sprinkle, but not really a whole lot of notable rainfall. Saturday night, it's going to be quiet again. We have that strong south wind at play here. That's going to warm things up on Sunday into the mid to upper 60s. Then that notable weather system arrives in terms of rainfall. Sunday night into Monday. I'm thinking mainly after sunset. We're going to fine-tune the timing of that, but unlike last weekend, this is a much easier forecast to dissect here. So for now, it is expected to be a mainly dry weekend. Rainfall late Sunday into Monday, but for now, we're talking lots of sunshine, some cooler temperatures, very fall-like, Gary. So I wish I could wear flannel. You know, it's
you can.
Well, I could probably bring a. What if there's a flannel suit? I'll try to wear that next time.
I know Walt Clyde Frazier probably has one. Eric, thanks. Well, for Eric Gage joining us now, and Eric, a lot of sunshine today, but a little bit chilly, not too bad.
Yeah, and I think the main difference here is you got some strong winds out there too, Gary, but it's still sunny out. We'll take the sunshine. A look at the current wind speeds across the state right now. We're sitting at 12-mile-per-hour north winds from Rome, 10-mile-per-hour winds outside Hamilton. The strongest wind gusts right now reported outside Albany at 16 miles per hour. So these are just reported wind speeds. The wind gusts potentially even higher, approaching 25 miles per hour in some spots. Still, the temperatures were in the 40s, low 50s. It is a cool, blustery fall day out there, but at least we're treated to plenty of sun. Here's a live look at downtown Utica early this afternoon. What are we tracking? A pretty windy day today again. We are still following dry weather heading into the weekend. Our next weather system appears to be rain showers arriving as we head into the second half of the weekend. We're going to time out that in a lot more detail, talk about frost potential, and how the latest temperatures are trending as we approach the weekend and beyond coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Brand new this noon, AAA North.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. After a very chilly start to the day, well, it's warmed up, but I guess warmed up is a bit of a strong word here. I guess it's milded up. A live look at Cooperstown right now. Temperature sitting at 45 crisp degrees out there. And maybe in Cooperstown, as high as you get is maybe 49. Some spots really sticking into the upper 40s, maybe low 50s. In fact, current conditions at Griffiths and Rome sitting at 51 degrees. I want to focus on this right here. Dew point of 25 degrees. It's not often do you get 25 degrees of dew points in, say, summer and early fall. What does that number mean? It means the air is incredibly dry. The difference between this number and this number, the larger the difference, the drier the air is. And while this is not too concerning, when you have a strong north wind, fire spread is a lot more likely in a situation like this. Just a heads up, just be aware if you are burning anything today to be extra cautious that could spread a lot easier with how dry the air is and how breezy it is. Still high pressures in place here today. Plenty of pumpkin spice this afternoon with temperatures peaking only in the mid-50s if we're lucky, and some lower elevations here locally. And again, these wind speeds, they started out quiet this morning. They have since picked up. We are expected to see wind speeds as high as 15 to 20 miles per hour. Wind gusts 25, 30 miles an hour. That is a very blustery afternoon. In the meantime, while the winds are pretty strong, we're taking a look at the Great Lakes water temperature, especially Lake Huron and Lake Ontario, the ones that affect us the most here in the Mohawk Valley. Temperatures right now are sitting in the mid-60s. And why is that important? Well, when we get those temperatures throughout the day in the low 40s, eventually upper 30s, that's a big enough difference in temperature that we can start to see some lake effect. There's no lake effect expected right now here locally, but that could change as we head into the end of the month as those temperatures, again, get a lot cooler. Rain chances, pretty non-existent for the next few days. Maybe a sprinkle heading into Friday night and Saturday, but our best shot for rain will actually fall in the second half of the weekend, closer to Sunday night. So you can see here, plenty of sunshine and blustery conditions today. It's a frosty overnight tonight with lows in the 30s and 20s. Tomorrow, we climb into the 50s, upper 50s by the afternoon. A few clouds move in from the west. And then by the overnight, it's a little chilly in the 30s again. Not nearly as widespread of frost, but it's still going to be a cold start to your Saturday. Saturday afternoon, maybe a brief sprinkle, but that's about it. It does dry up in the evening, and then as we head into Sunday, it starts out dry. Rain showers develop late. That's our next chance of widespread rainfall, notable rainfall here across the region. That'll bring some warmer temperatures too. A strong south wind. We're in the upper 60s, pushing 70. And then following that, more unsettled conditions next week. So for now, Gary, it is a sunny, cool fall day out there. I walked outside a few minutes ago. It is very windy out there. So you definitely want to bundle up with some extra layers if you head outside by any means today.
Probably makes those 50s feel like 40.
I know, right? Yeah.
Well, how about this one? One airline has announced it's going to start charging passengers more. Joining us now, and Eric, it may be sunny, but it is definitely cool, and you were mentioning the winds too.
Yeah, the wind definitely a little relentless today. We're talking 12 to 15 mile per hour winds, and it's expected to rise even more.
Wow.
Here's a look at the live wind speeds reported across the state. You can see 14 mile per hour winds in Hamilton, 13 in Syracuse, 12 in Rome, and heading out to Albany where the highest wind gusts are. They're 16 miles per hour. So it is a blustery fall day out there today, but we are accompanying it by plenty of sunshine. So the rest of the week so far looking a lot more like this. It is still, despite it, at noontime, it's 43 degrees in Saranac Lake. Those Adirondack areas and the high peaks, not really warming up all too much, especially as you head into those higher elevations in the southern valleys. Live look at downtown Utica. Gorgeous blue skies out there right now. So again, today it's a breezy, cool one, but sunny. As we approach the end of the week, we're going to see dry weather moving in. It's going to warm up a little bit too as we head into Saturday and Sunday, potentially hitting the mid-60s by the end of the weekend. And then following that, our next system we're tracking will be in the form of rainfall. So no snow yet. But we'll talk about that rainfall arriving later on this weekend, the timing of it, how much we could see, and then, of course, the latest on that frost potential tonight coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. Diane Keaton's family.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are still tracking lots of sunshine, still a blustery and cool day out there today. A live look in Oneonta from our camera atop Hartwick College, facing both campuses in the city of the hills. We begin with, again, sunshine but cooler temperatures, 46 degrees so far at noontime, and maybe only a few more degrees warmer as we progress throughout the evening. Currently 51 degrees at Griffiths Rome, a north wind at 12 miles per hour. I want to focus more on this number here, the dew point at 25. That stands for basically incredibly dry air, with the difference of here and the temperature being pretty significant. And with dew points that low, a reminder, with strong winds like this, fire can spread very quickly. So just a heads up, if you're burning anything today, this could be very notable factor. So definitely I would recommend holding off on doing any burning today with how windy it is and how dry the air is as well. Radar and satellite picking up on high pressure, bringing lots of sunshine here to our area. Still, though, it's very fall-like despite the sunshine. In fact, highs only in the mid-50s if we're lucky here in the Mohawk Valley. On top of that, that wind speed, very significant, between 15 and 20 miles per hour. We haven't really seen a lot of winds like this over in the summertime. Usually that's the least windy time of the year for us, aside from thunderstorms. But as we progress into the fall and eventually winter, these winds get a lot more common, especially as we head into spring too. So again, a heads up today with those gusts as high as 25, 30 miles per hour. Especially if you drive a high-profile vehicle, that could be something that might impact your driving. Still, though, on the topic of winds, I wanted to focus on the Great Lakes water temperature, which currently sit between 65 and 67 degrees in Lake Huron and Ontario, the ones that affect us greatly during the winter season with, of course, lake effect. For now, we're not expecting any lake effect. The temperature not cold just yet, but we're monitoring that because you get the right difference in the air temperature and water temperature, and that's when that lake effect machine really starts to kick in, usually when we hit November and December. But for now, again, there's lots of sun, no lake effect, plenty of dry weather. Tomorrow night, there's maybe a few sprinkles from a system bringing clouds to our area. maybe even early Saturday. The more notable system is right here. This will arrive as we head into Sunday evening. So again, today it's dry, it's sunny, it's blustery out there. Tonight, looking a little frosty. Overnight lows in the 30s and 20s. It's going to be a very chilly start to your day tomorrow. And then as we head again into Friday, it's a little warmer. We're in the 50s. Not nearly as cold tomorrow night. And then Saturday, mostly cloudy. We're in the 60s. Upper 60s by Sunday. Still looking dry until rain showers develop in late. And then next week, a little more unsettled with rain chances Monday and Wednesday. Again, most notably on Monday. Besides that, though, it's looking pretty dry and sunny for today as well as tomorrow. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are back with News Talk.
Look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. It's a double nickel day today.
It's beautiful, but you know what? The low humidity and the wind helps to spread fires on a day like today. So that's just something to keep in mind. I mean, we talk about fires spreading in the spring. We have that burn ban that happens, but this is the conditions that would be out there where we would be concerned about. 55 degrees, sunshine, low dew point, 27. How about that wind? It had a bite today, making things feel chilly. It's currently coming in from the north-northwest at 14 miles an hour. Looking at dry conditions on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. There's still a chance that we could see some of the northern lights tonight. I'll have an update on that. Another cold night, another dry day tomorrow, another dry night for high school football. We'll take a closer look at the conditions for Friday night, and also warmer weather is expected for the weekend. This evening, sunshine, beautiful, but also chilly. We're looking at frosty conditions again by tomorrow morning. I've got to look at your forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. Assemblywoman Mary.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We've got clear skies in place, and it's going to lead to another chilly night here in central New York. Let's take a live look in downtown Utica. Sunshine, clear, and cool. With that wind out there is making things feel pretty chilly. Tonight, winds become calm, air temperatures drop. We're down into the low 20s. Boonville 23, Old Forge 22, Remsen 25. A region-wide frost takes place and a hard freeze, especially to the north. Middleville 26, across Southern Valleys. Herkimer 30, Richfield Springs down to 29, Oneonta 31, Cooperstown 30 degrees. Again, just about everybody's below freezing tonight. So we take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, things look quiet. There is still the chance for the northern lights tonight. Things look to unfold this evening. The Earth is expected to feel the effects of something called a CME, a coronal mass ejection from the sun that took place a day and a half ago, and it's headed in this direction. And what that does is it interacts with the Earth's atmosphere, and it often produces the northern lights. These are wildly difficult to predict. Sometimes these are way more active than what is shown on the screen, and sometimes they're not. Our suggestion is to check often after sunset to the north. You're going to have better luck with a camera that can take night mode shots. It captures more light than the eye can see. But this could be one of those nights where you can see it with the naked eye to the north if you look for a faint glow. And we will be here tonight too if we do see them. If the show is big and it's able to be spotted with the naked eye, we'll send out one of those text alerts on our WKTV weather app. Little Falls 58 degrees, Deansboro 48, West Berlin 53. Across the Southern Valleys, again, it is chilly out there. Oneonta 48, Cooperstown 51. Big dome of high pressure and control actually between two different weather systems. One to our east, cloud showers over Maine, and the second one to the west. And this squeeze play between the two is actually creating the dry weather in place. This is called a blocking pattern, which means we get about 24 to 36 hours of additional clear skies in place before things start to change. Tonight it's cold. Again, we're down into the 30s and 20s region-wide. Beautiful Friday, lots of sunshine, less wind compared to today. High temperatures in the 50s, a few high clouds later in the day. Great weather for high school football. It's dry, but it's in the 40s, so dress nice and warm. And on Saturday, we start out with temperatures in the 30s. We'll see high temperatures in the 60s with mostly cloudy skies. A couple of showers possible Saturday, mainly west of Utica. Clear skies tonight, low of 28. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high temperature of 57. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. The weather over the weekend looks nice. It looks like the rain's going to hold off Sunday until Sunday night. Widespread rain Sunday night into Monday. Tuesday, a high of 60. And then, do I even want to talk about Wednesday and Thursday? Well, they're not terrible, but temperatures will be in the low 50s. I think there might be some lake effect rain showers those days.
What's seasonal?
Yes, it is pretty normal to see that. Yes.
All right, thank you, Bill. A nor'easter brought rain and flooding down.
A rabid skunk, deer. Now we have wasps in the studio.
Yeah,
A
I'm
wasp bill.
not being shy. I'm just trying to avoid this guy here.
It's
Literally on the set.
it's bad.
Okay, so where is it?
I don't know. I
It's-
love
I
it.
think it's
Well,
over
if I
towards
find it,
us.
We lose it in the lights.
Yes.
I'll just jump off the screen. Anyway, let's talk about the Great Lakes here. They're warm. They're about 5 degrees warm compared to usual. Oh, there it is. I'll see you later, folks. It's about 5 degrees warmer than usual, which means we could be talking about more lake effect snow as we head into the season. Of course, we have to have the cold air to go along with it, but the lakes offer an opportunity when they're warm to produce a little bit more in terms of snowfall. Things look dry in the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We do have some warmer temperatures ahead. We're close to 70 by Sunday, and then some cooler temperatures heading into Monday and Tuesday. If you're taking the dog out for a walk, it's clear, it's cool, it's going to be a good night. And we've got Abe to show you here, too, from Clinton. If you want to be part of this, head to Skycast WKTV on Facebook. This is brought to you by Nissan. Back over to you guys.
All right, Bill lost the game. Jason and I.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're tracking a chilly night ahead. A live look in Oneonta, 46 degrees. We're going to free fall into the 20s tonight in most areas. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's quiet across the region. Tonight, we could see the northern lights. We're expecting some activity to unfold this evening. Now, it doesn't get dark enough to watch this until about 7:15, but it gets even better after 7:45. So 7:30-ish, we'll split the difference here to get out and start looking. And the ingredients for this look to be best early on. But again, as with anything, especially with space weather, you think weather forecasting is tough. Space weather, the variabilities are incredibly great. So always keep that in mind if you're going out to look for that. You also need a pair of binoculars for Comet Lemon. It is visible in the night sky. It's low to the horizon in the northwest. Look for the Big Dipper. Look to the left of the Big Dipper. It's supposed to be getting brighter over the next couple of nights, but again, for now, a pair of binoculars or a camera that can enhance the light for best viewing. Frost is expected to be widespread tomorrow. Temperatures drop into the 20s overnight and low 30s. Our sky watchers checking in: Whitesboro 54, Clinton 54, Cassville 49, Norway 50, Inlet 46, Westford, Dave checking in with 47. We are squeezed between two areas of low pressure, one to the west, one to the east, and this is called a blocking pattern. What this means is things don't really move very much in the atmosphere. We happen to be on the nice side of things in between these weather systems. We're going to hold on to clear skies tonight and tomorrow, and then things will start to change as we head into the weekend. Looking at our Storm Tracker 2 Skycast, we are looking at sunshine as we head into the rest of our Friday here. It's going to be clear. It's going to be chilly tonight. We'll be down into the upper 20s. Heading into tomorrow, temperatures climb into the 50s in the afternoon. Bit of a breeze. Not as windy as today, though. Today was quite windy. Tomorrow, not so much. Great weather for high school football. Temperatures drop into the 40s Friday evening. We're down into the 30s Friday night. And then Saturday features mostly sunny sky, or mostly cloudy skies, rather, as a warm front moves in from the west. It'll give us some clouds, but also bring some warmer temperatures. Clear tonight, down to 28. Tomorrow, sunshine. It's 57 for the high, less windy. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. It's warmer over the weekend, but it's cloudier, and it does look like the rain is going to hold off on Sunday. It's not going to happen until Sunday night. That's the latest trend. Widespread rain Sunday night to Monday. Weather patterns next week, very fall-like. Cloudy skies Tuesday. Lake effect rain showers show up Wednesday and Thursday. We'll be right back.
Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
We've got dry conditions out there and a wind which helps to spread fires quickly on a day like today. The north-northwest wind at 13 miles an hour, dew point 27. Again, very dry conditions out there. 52 degrees is the current temperature. We have clear skies in place, and that is going to help temperatures free fall tonight. We're also keeping an eye on the northern lights. They might come out tonight. The best chance would be early on. Another dry Friday night. Another great night for football. Temperatures this weekend will be climbing into the 60s with cloudy skies. This evening, sunshine, temperatures in the 40s, so we'll cool off pretty quickly. Again, a chilly night ahead. A nice start to the weekend. Look at the forecast coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The chikungunya virus has been...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are taking a live look in downtown Utica. Clear skies, light winds in place. We're looking at a cold night ahead. Many areas will drop down into the 20s. Here's a look at the forecasted overnight lows. Old Forge 22, Middleville 26, Remsen 25, Waterville 29. Down across the southern valleys, Herkimer 30, Oneonta 31, Morris 29, and Norwich down to 31 degrees. We were looking at dry conditions on the Yorkville Battery. Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We've been watching for the possibility of northern lights tonight. So far, no activity, not yet. We won't be able to see these until it gets dark, so it's about 7:30 this time of the year. The projection is for a minor show to take place. Look to the north, say 7:30 to 8 o'clock. Use a camera. You'll have better luck capturing a little bit more light. And again, good luck. These things are very difficult to predict, and the numbers can be off by a lot. Just doing this and watching this for the past couple of years, on a night like tonight, it may end up being a dud, or it could be a really great show, or somewhere in between. So we will keep you posted. Should we see these on Smith Hill with the naked eye, we will send out a text alert. We'll send out an alert on our weather app to let you know if they're worth going out to check and see. Skywatchers coming in, Whitesboro, Clinton 54 degrees, Barneveld 50. Across the Mohawk Valley, Ilion 53, Jeff and Mohawk 51. Cooperstown 49, Worcester 53. We are squeezed between the weather systems today. System to the east, a system to the west, and they're both working together to create what's called a blocking pattern, which means the weather really doesn't move a lot. We just happen to be in between these systems, creating a sunshine. But being between these systems also creates wind. It's that change in pressure that creates wind, and we will see less wind tomorrow compared to today. Winds become light tonight. Overnight lows drop down into the upper 20s. Sunshine tomorrow. Temperatures climb into the mid-50s. Looking at dry conditions. Another nice night for high school football. Temperatures will be in the 40s, but it should be dry weather yet again. We start out pretty chilly Saturday morning. Temperatures in the 30s, and then mostly cloudy skies Saturday afternoon with temperatures in the 60s. Clear tonight, down to 28. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, 57. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. It warms up. We're in the 60s Saturday and Sunday. Some rain returns. It looks like Sunday night into Monday, so Sunday is trending drier. And then the weather patterns next week, a lot more typical late fall, or I should say late October, with lake effect rain showers Wednesday and Thursday.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Still to come on News Channel 2 at 6. First look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Wow, it's a painting.
That's a beautiful picture. By the way, I found the wasp. It's in the light. See that?
I see it right there.
Behind the lights.
We have been dealing with this.
We're on wasp patrol tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're distracted by this beautiful picture, and we're looking
at the wasp
off camera here. But yes, this is an absolutely beautiful photo. This is from Craig. Piseco Echo Cliffs. Still some color here too, which is really great. You know, we keep pushing about how the Adirondacks are past peak, and you know, if you can still find the right spots, you can get a lot of really nice colors. So it's just, you know, something to consider too when we're looking at these maps, because we'll put out the newest fall foliage map coming up tomorrow. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Things look pretty quiet. Looking at clear skies. It's cooling down pretty quickly. We're 38 degrees. We'll fall below freezing tonight without a problem. As we look at our weather headlines, Northern Lights, quick update here. They haven't come out yet. Doesn't mean that they won't, but you haven't missed anything if you've been trying to get out and see them. Looks like another nice Friday and a warmer weekend ahead. Going to bed tonight, might need the heat tomorrow morning. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet. We're down into the upper 20s. I've got a look at how the forecast is shaping up heading into the weekend coming up. Jason, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The jury in the murder.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening and welcome back. It is a chilly night. We are looking at downtown Utica. Temperatures have fallen into the 30s. We'll drop into the 20s overnight. Utica down to 30, Remsen 25, Old Forge 22, Camden 24. Across the southern valleys, it's a widespread frost by the morning. Cooperstown down to 30, Richfield Springs 29, Oneonta 31, New Hartford down to 30. Clear skies on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. We've been watching the possibility of the northern lights tonight. So far, this has not come to fruition. If anything changes, we'll keep you posted. We're thinking that there still may be a little bit of an opportunity before midnight, before any chances wane. Also a reminder, you can see Comet Lemon in the night sky after sunset. If you look to the west, you'll need a pair of binoculars to do that. So you look at the bigger picture, we've got high pressure that's in control. We've got two weather systems on either side of us, and that's actually one of the reasons why we had so much wind today, because there's a really strong change in pressure between them. There's low pressure to the east and also an approaching area to the west. And this is called a blocking weather pattern. So that's why we've been seeing sunshine and wind. This block is going to what we call break down, fall apart, over the next couple of days. And this is going to be our weather for the weekend. It starts out as cloud cover, push of warm weather, and eventually some rain returns by the end of the weekend. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast tonight. Clear skies, overnight lows drop down into the upper 20s. Plenty of sunshine is expected on Friday. Looking at a very nice one. Highs in the mid-50s, less wind. Perfect weather for high school football, and it's been an undefeated season weather-wise. We've not had any rain on any Friday nights so far this football season. It's going to continue for one more Friday night. Temperatures will drop down into the 30s Saturday morning. Looking at mostly cloudy skies throughout Saturday afternoon. Temperatures climb into the 60s. Clear skies tonight down to 28. Tomorrow, sunny skies, beautiful, less wind. A little bit more cloud cover late, 57. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Temperatures make it into the 60s over the weekend. It's looking dry and it's trending dry. I know Sunday we had the rain chances in earlier in the week, and I think that's pushed off to Sunday night.
Okay.
Into Monday. And next week we get into more of a typical late October weather pattern with a lake effect rain showers showing up Wednesday and Thursday.
Windy day today.
Very windy for sure.
We saw that having an effect on that tree fire.
Yeah, it's the wind, it's the low humidity. Just because it's not hot doesn't mean this stuff can't spread. It's these are the conditions that can really cause wildfires, or any fires to spread.
Don't burn your leaves. Don't cut that all out. All right, thank you, Bill. Coming up next, President Trump with the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Gorgeous picture here. That looks like a painting.
Absolutely. This was taken today, Echo Cliffs by Craig, this over in Piseco. And even though it's past peak across the Adirondacks, you can still get a lot of gorgeous color. The leaves still look very, very nice. Yeah. So still go out and explore. Fall is not over yet. We are tracking some pretty nice weather here to finish the work week. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. All is quiet across central New York. Our temperature has dropped to 34 degrees. It is cooling off. Calm winds, clear skies. And again, it will be below freezing tonight. Looking at our weather headlines, the northern lights have not made an appearance tonight. We were thinking that it might, but so far we've had nothing, and I think that's pretty much done. The odds of it are pretty low. Another nice Friday, warmer weather heading into the weekend. Tonight, overnight lows drop down into the upper 20s. We are tracking a nice finish to the weekend, but the weather turning a lot warmer as we head into the weekend, along with our next chance of rain. Look at the forecast coming up. James, back to you.
Bill, thank you. The jury and the murder.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We're taking a live look in downtown Utica. It is a clear, cold night. Temperatures are rapidly dropping. We're going to drop down into the upper 20s overnight. Utica 30, Middleville 26, Little Falls 30, Rome 28, Remsen 25, Old Forge 22. Across the southern valleys, Richfield Springs 29, 30, Cooperstown 30, Herkimer, Oneonta 31. So again, a widespread frost is expected. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, looking dry across the region. Again, we're already in the 30s tonight, already down to 32 in Hamilton. So, and not going to be a problem to do that. Unfortunately, the northern lights have not panned out tonight. We've been watching the parameters all evening long, and just hasn't come together. And that does sometimes happen. Northern lights are pretty tricky to predict, so we'll continue to watch this and see if there's any opportunities again in the future. High school football, it has been an undefeated season in terms of the weather. Dry Fridays for the entire season so far. Tomorrow night will be another one. Temperatures will be in the 40s with partly cloudy skies. Big story here is we got two weather systems, one to our east, one to our west, and between the two of them, we've got all of this dry weather. This is called a blocking pattern. Both weather systems help to create a blocking environment in the atmosphere. That means things aren't moving, and things will eventually break down. This blocking pattern will break down, and that means the weather is going to move in from the west, and that'll be what we see over the weekend. Storm Tracker 2 Skycast. Tonight, temperatures drop down into the 30s, the low 30s to upper 20s. Tomorrow, partly sunny skies, temperatures climb into the 50s. Beautiful afternoon. A little bit extra cloud cover here later in the day. Heading into Saturday, we are looking at, again, some chilly weather. Temperatures drop down into the mid-30s. Saturday afternoon, mostly cloudy and warmer with highs in the low 60s. Tonight, clear skies down to 28. Tomorrow, sunshine, 57 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. It's warm over the weekend. Temperatures in the 60s Saturday and Sunday. We're tracking rain Sunday night into Monday. Monday's high 59, Tuesday cloudy, and then lake effect rain showers expected Wednesday and Thursday.
It's that time of year where you got to start thinking about, winter's coming, get your car ready.
Get your furnace cleaned out.
Get your furnace cleaned out, absolutely.